Hello everyone and welcome back to Calmlands. This is the multiplayer co-op with Nordic Farming and we've reached episode 74. We are starting down by the BGA where we finished up last time, and you'll notice that we have a bit of a contraption here that Nordic and I have set up. That's right, we are going to be using our Coolamon mother bins to help ferry the silage from the bunker into the other bin and then into the BGA hopper. So it is going to be a silage train, and Nordic and I have bought another pickup, the forage pickup, which we actually did use before, and this time we are going to have the milling machine and the forage pickup working hand in hand. I think we will jump in the New Holland and get that started, and yes, it will be picking up the silage. Let's get the pipe unfolded, and actually before we start I kind of want to have a little look at how much we have in here. I think it's probably quite a large volume. Cool, 1,245,000 litres, 703. Fantastic. Yes, so we might not have all the capacity in our BGA to fill it up, but at which point we might use the mother bins to cart it to the silo down the road. And yes, we've got some auto drivers busy bustling some grain from the old farm silo to the new. Right, we are going to take up the right hand side because I don't think this milling machine has got as good a range as the forage pickup. But let's get it switched on, lowered away, and for some reason it seems to be pointing towards Nordic, but we're going to see if we can switch it to the Coolamon. And let's have a look. Is it going to shoot it over there? I'm hoping it is. There we go. We are away. Just needed to raise it up. So we are going to get all this silage shifted, and we'll see when we've made some good progress. And there we go, last scraps picked up, so we can fold away the milling machine. And what a big job that was. And yes, a little bit of unorthodox usage of the milling machine and forage pickup to empty the silage bunker, silage clamp, into mother bins, which are typically used for storing grain and other crops rather than very heavy, chunky, soggy, well not soggy, but clunky silage. So yeah, we are using them beyond their intended purpose, but it has worked. So good solutioning from mine and Nordic's perspective. Now the BGA is full, so we have done 2 loads to the farm silo that's over the bridge here, and I'm thinking that these next loads could be a couple of loads too far, because I believe our new and upgraded farm silo over here can take a very high capacity, but I think its limit is around 1 million litres per product. So it's potentially likely that we won't be able to get these Coolamon bins emptied with this last load into the silo, but we will see how we get on if I can manoeuvre myself. It is very fiddly work, this, having to manoeuvre the bins and get them in a position to unload, because of course they are too big for driving into the silo area, so we're having to sort of park them alongside the pickup to get them to work. So yes, bear with us. There we go, we are emptying, so let's see how far we can get emptied. Okay, so we have 60,000 litres left in the mother bin, and that must mean that the silo is completely full. I can see, yep, on the bottom right hand section, silage 1 million litres. So that is completely full of silage, can't put any more in there. And yes, 60,000 litres left in here. Let's get the pipe folded in. And I think the best thing we can do is probably park the mother bin up at the BGA to slowly empty in as the BGA processes. Okie dokie, so we will get the bin parked up just here, ready to ditch the next load into the BGA when it's ready. Okay, it is unloading some, so it's freed up some capacity, but there we go, it has filled up. So we'll switch that off and leave the tractor here. Right, we have dropped off the forage pickups, and I am going to head off back to the farm, set a auto driver to take the New Holland back. And the next job is going to be weeding. As you can see to the left, we have a lakeside field that has some weeds in, and so do all of our other fields which we've drilled and planted, except Arrowdown, which we ploughed up, and that doesn't need any weeding. Lots of weeds in South Bank as well, and I think we also need to fertilise the poplar field, Bridgeway. It doesn't look like Cowman Field needs any weeding, because that was recently ploughed, and as was Pig Farm Field, because I think they had planted crops in, like corn, when we last harvested them. So yeah, that is a bit of a job saver. So I think it's going to be Lakeview, Hillside up here to the left, and South Bank and Lakeside that need the weeding. I think we will stick in the JCB. Nordic is over at the dealership because he's buying another sprayer, just like this one, and we are going to be spraying in tandem. Now, of course, we do have the rather large self-propelled Hardy sprayer, but unfortunately Nordic and I both can't get in that at the same time, and also it is rather large, so when we have our undulating fields with hills, it does seem to catch on the sprayer boom, so it is not ideal. But let's head over to the other side of the yard and get some herbicide in the sprayer. We have topped up with herbicide, and Nordic is filling up the new but matching sprayer with herbicide as well. Alright, Nordic is filled up, so let's beacon on and we can head over to the field. And we're starting with Lakeview, then we're going to work our way around to Hillside, and then crack on with South Bank, and then Lakeside. Right turn through our little track cut through, and that leads us pretty much on to Lakeview, and we can get set up and started. I think we are going to run GPS, and I will set a track so Nordic and I are going to be running nice and smoothly next to one another. Right, we have made it to Lakeview, so we're going to get unfolded. We can beacon off, and we have set up the GPS, so should be able to turn that on. It's going to send me on some weird direction, but we turn on the sprayer, and hopefully we'll get lined up with track 0. There we go. I think we are going to be caught on Nordic a little bit. But we have the see and spray on. There we go. Oh, we are snagging with Nordic a little bit, but we will get underway and straighten up, hopefully. Okay, I think we have sorted that out now, so we can set the cruise. We've got GPS on, and we can get underway. Spinning round, and that is Lakeview all done. Managed to get in the groove of spraying after the first few rows. The GPS was playing up a little bit funny to begin with, and yes, one thing I think we'll take forward for next field is we'll definitely do the headlands first, as we were thinking that if we both did headlands there wouldn't be rows big enough really for us to work with. But to be honest, I think that's probably a better situation to deal with than having to go right up to the edge of the field and then make the turn. Doesn't leave you very much turning space, and that is quite tricky when you have a very wide working width machine like a sprayer. But we managed to do that, so that is Lakeview all weed free, so our crops can grow nice and freely and not be hindered by weeds. We'll be heading on straight down the road here to Hillside, where we will get started once again. I think the weeds are probably a little bit taller in this field, although they did look it. Maybe that is just the grass. Okay, yeah, they're not too bad in this field, but nonetheless we need to get them all zapped away. So I think we'll let Nordic start on this one. Probably not going to GPS this field because it is so small. It will be more hassle than it is worth. But let's get unfolded down here and spin round, and we can get started. And I'm probably going to do this field and Cowman field all in one. Switching off and folding up. Turn off the GPS and loop round. Nordic and I just passed each other. And I think this is the last little section we've got of the field to tackle. And it was much easier to see the weeds in this field because the corn is all nicely spaced out in lines. And yeah, the weeds do poke through. It's quite easy to see them and also see where you have and haven't been. Right, that is hillside and a lakeside tackled in one. I think I might have said Cowman before, but I meant South Bank. And Nordic and I opted to do hillside and lakeside together because they are the two smaller, and then Cowman will be a larger job. Short drive over to South Bank, and to the right is the poplar, which needs fertilising, but I don't think we are going to get around to it this afternoon. But we can head straight over to South Bank, get started. We've got 56% of herbicide left in the tank, and that is thanks to the fantastic See and Spray feature in the sprayer, so we don't really waste any herbicide at all. But let's get the GPS set for South Bank. I think we'll probably start on this corner, that's where we tend to start, so let's get unfolded. So we are leading the headland. We can set off and get this field all sprayed. We'll do the dual headlands and then break into the rows. Last patch sprayed, and we had a lovely little idle down the hill there following Nordic on the last row, and we are all herbicide completed in South Bank field. So we can turn the GPS off now and head on over to where we're parking up for the evening, and that is going to be the BGA area, because I think next month we are going to have to fertilise spray the poplar field, which is Bridgeway, and we can use the sprayers for that. So we'll empty the tiny amount of herbicide we have in here, fill up with fertilizer and get that sprayed. But yes, we have managed to do all those fields with 1 tank of herbicide, and we even have 14% left, so has really gone a long way today. But in summary, we've had a bit of a silage and spraying day. We emptied the bunker of the 1.2 or thereabout million litres, and that was pretty impressive. Filled up the whole BGA, and then everything left went into the farm silo. And the good thing about that farm silo is we can set it to process the silage, and it will automatically distribute it to the BGA, which is very good news. And I think, yeah, there's going to be a lot of silage to process for the foreseeable from that supply. And we still have chaff in the fermenting silos near the cow farm, which are processing into silage and distributing to the BGA as well. And that's all on top of the slurry that comes from the pig farm and the cow farm. So we really are quids in when it comes to silage. But we will park up here. I think all of our crop fields now are good to be left until harvest time, which means next time I think Nordic and I are going to be working on some new adventures. I think we might end up buying a new patch of land after we've fertilised the poplar field. So yeah, hope you stick around for that. But if you've enjoyed watching today, remember to drop a like and subscribe. Check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of the session. And if you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like us to do, feel free to leave a comment. Until next time on Calm Lands, we'll see you then. Cheers all. Bye bye.